Hello and welcome. This is going to be a series of videos about the running sessions, advice, stories and lessons learned through painful experience or any type of experience really. This is a series of videos aimed towards amateur players, experienced players, any type of players and game masters. We're going to be talking about stuff you've heard of before, stuff you've never heard of before. I'm gonna mention some of my own experiences in the field. For new players, this is gonna be useful for you. And for new game masters, there's gonna be advice, there's gonna be tips and hints. And for experienced people, you might be surprised. There might be things that you can pick, you can also use in your sessions. I'm gonna be referencing different stuff. Sometimes I'm gonna be referencing my own game, Method Tales, and rules I use. They may differ from things like Dungeons and Dragons, but that can be very useful. We can compare these things and see what works best. There's plenty of stuff to break down. There's fun stuff as always because it's Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. There's important stuff to highlight. And there's also dramatic stuff to talk about. As always, a role-playing experience is a mixed experience. Anyways, I'm gonna start with players, okay? So, I'm gonna talk about creating characters, what you wanna do, what you want to achieve, what your role is in the game. So, your approach is as a player, okay? As a part of a group. It is a shared experience, so there are responsibilities, there are elements that you need to take into account. It doesn't matter if you're an experienced player or not. It doesn't matter if you have played Dungeons and Dragons before or not, or other games or other systems. And it really doesn't matter if you know those systems very well. According to my opinion, I don't care. I will appreciate if you read about it after we start. Up to that point, I don't even care. So, tip number one, you are part of the story, you are not the center of it. I cannot stress that enough. You are not the hero of the novel. You are part of the story and your purpose is to serve that story. I know it sounds very strange to you, but number one problem in every role-playing game and every group is the hero, syndrome. So you don't have to be the center of attention at all times. You have to take into consideration that you are part of that tale, an equal part of that tale, okay, among other people, and you want to serve the story, see how it goes, where it leads, and interact with it. So, start very simple, okay? What is your job? What is your class? You have one job, one class. Regardless of game you play, okay? It is one thing. You are like the warrior, you are the wizard, you are the rogue, you are one thing, okay? So, start very simple. Don't tell me about the unique stuff you have as a person. I don't want to hear that yet. You have to level the field with other players as well, okay? In every group, there are those people that, have a lot to say. There's people that don't have much to say. You have to be part of that team. We want equal, dynamics, more or less. And if you're a good player, the others can, take the example. So, start by choosing one thing, okay? Your job, okay? You're the fighter. That's good. So far, so good. You can describe your gear and how you look. Very basic stuff, because I've had things in the past. I've heard things in the past absolutely ridiculous. For example, you wear black clothes, okay? You have a leather armor, you have a huge sword. All acceptable, very good. I've had a player once, he was like very detailed, the tunic, trousers, okay, the colors, the hair, the length, fair enough. And the ending was like he had like buttons on his shirt, and the top button was like this. There's nothing to do with that kind of information. I don't care about the exact style of your character. First of all, no one remembers. We struggle to remember the names of characters after like 5 weeks. No one remembers, no one cares, and it's not important. It's not important at all how you look. If you manage to have others memorize your looks, kudos to you. Not very likely. So, basic stuff. Make one thing stand out. It's enough. Now, the most important thing. We don't want your backstory. Not yet. We don't want it. We cannot use it. We'll never remember it. We cannot make stuff out of it. It's too early. Okay? Pick one thing. One thing that stands out. Just one thing. Nothing else. For starters. Because if you're a player, okay, you can build on that. And if you're a game master, you can remember it. Hey. So, for example, very easy hook. You are the angry guy. Quick anger. Very easy, very common. You can use it. Okay? Think of Sheriff Bullock in Deadwood. Very nice hook. You're the guy that gets pissed all the time for no big reasons. Okay? So you can use this to make your presence known. So, as a first tip, you're the guy that gets angry very, very fast. Okay? So, once you've established that and other characters have one trait each, everyone in the group has this clear image. Okay, you're the warrior who is angry. You're the wizard who is a pessimist. Anything. One trait, distinct, clear, okay? And you have to be consistent. It might surprise you, but being consistent even in one trait is very difficult in games. Because we approach games in the same manner that we approach other things, the way we feel every second. That's not how you play a game. You have to be consistent. You have to do things in a way regardless of your current temperament and mood. And you have to stay on that lane. Keep it simple, be consistent. You cannot be angry in one session and very peaceful on the other session because it's not about you, it's about your character. Get over yourself very fast, please. So, no backstory, use personality, okay? In Meta Tales, you have a personality system, okay? So every time you do something, you fill one little circle. So you act angry, you fill in the, anger circle, whatever. You do something brave, you fill the bravery circle. So this way, it's easy for the character and the game master to have some sort of a form, okay, a metric, to see how you actually act and not what you say you do. You can add depth as you go along, okay? So you can have character arcs along the way. What does that mean? It means that every few sessions you can add one thing, okay? As the game master now, you can provide this question to the player. I do that in my game, okay? You can provide this question. For example, after 2-3 sessions, once you've gotten to know each other a bit well and you know there's progress, you can pick a question. For example, share with me a dark thing from your past. Very simple. Okay, so the player has to think. You come up with a dark thing from your past, something you've done, you're ashamed of, you don't want to remember, you don't want others to know, and you write it down, you give it to your game master, and he can use it, or she, to develop something out of it, okay? It's one small, simple thing, okay? And the answer has to be short and easy. A dark thing from your past. Okay, once, I don't know, I stole this thing from a merchant, and for that, my honor was compromised. It could be something, of course, much darker. Okay, you took part in a serious crime. Okay, but you can use this, and this is growth. This is a character arc. As you progress, okay, your role as a player is to be responsive to these questions, and once you've provided an answer, is to be faithful to these answers. Okay, as a game master, your role is to be making these questions after a few sessions, to write down the answers and to use them, but you have to fill the room and make sure that is a good time to ask the question, that the player can, take it, he has a capacity to react to it. If you see that he's not yet ready, wear it out, okay? Other than that, I think it's a very safe formula, okay? Some very good responsive players can do one every 3 sessions, two sessions, whatever. Slower players that are not very, reacting very well to role playing, give them every 5 sessions. Give them time to build. So far we have a good way to monitor, we have a good way to establish a character, slowly, okay? Because what's the alternative method? You start from the beginning, you list a ton of things no one's going to remember, you are not going to even fulfill these promises you make, and down the line you become the same person as always. Your character becomes the same character as in the previous 10 campaigns. We all know that player. I've had players, they start out very well. After 5 sessions, they're exactly the same character, regardless of class, race, whatever. That is unacceptable. It's bad for the game. Don't be the same person again and again and again. Start slow. Next, don't play to win. Play to serve the story. Yes, I know. I said that before, but what does it mean? First of all, don't play to impress. Play to support, okay? Support your co-players and support your storyteller, okay? Because if the story is good, everyone is going to be satisfied. The ones that make it, the ones that survive it, the ones that die in it, everyone is going to have something good to remember. If the story is not good and your character is great, no one cares, okay? You take your great character and play somewhere else. It doesn't help anyone, okay? So don't think in a selfish manner, okay? Support the story. You're an actor in a movie, in a play, okay? And we want to achieve a dramatic effect or some other kind of effect, but we all go for something when we play, okay? And this is something that is good to discuss when you start a game. I always go for dramatic effect. I love it when I can steer the emotional strings of my players. Of course, we're gonna laugh a lot because the comic relief, unfortunately for me, is a major element in these games. I'm not against laughing and I'm not against fun, but it's the easiest way to kill the other effects. So limit the fun and to have more of the others, okay? The easiest thing to do is laugh all the time in role-playing games. It's the easiest thing to do. But it doesn't amount to much. Of course, it's nice to have fun and laugh. And if you go out and do that once a year, maybe that's all you have to do. But if you play on a weekly basis and you want to achieve something, a cathartic effect, okay, an artistic effect. We've elevated these games. We've done that in the past. We've achieved that as a community. We've taken role-playing from a game to higher levels. That is on us. And we have to take credit for that. But we have a responsibility to maintain a level when we play. Because this makes it something more than a game. It's an artistic expression, okay? And it's more important. That's a full stop for that topic. If your character dies, it's not the end. It's not the end of the story. It's not the end of the narrative. It's a part of it. So, keep that in mind. You don't play to survive. You don't have to be suicidal, of course. But take this D&D style of game out of your mindset. You don't have to figure it out every time. You don't have to be the best optimized thing all the time. Don't think stats. Don't think winning. Think participating. If your character dies, you play another character. It's very meaningful not to worship the stats. A good system will let everyone shine. Everyone shine, okay? Dungeons & Dragons is a stat-first game, okay? Meteor Tales is another story. I don't pay attention to stats. I've got a way to make everyone feel important. The thing is that if a character dies in the game, it has to matter a lot. It has to be impactful. It has to be dramatic. Think Gandalf dying in Lord of the Rings. Everyone cries. Think average character dying in D&D. Everyone laughs. It's not right. It's not right. Seriously. I mean, it has to be different. A great hook for role-playing is to have a ceremony for your fallen comrade, okay? Before creating another character. It's a very interesting way to have progress, okay? What I do in Meteor Tales, I have a bonding system, okay? So every time characters bond with each other, you feel another one of these annoying circles, okay? And you write the name of the character. So for example, if your character, John, is tied to another character called Elia, they share one of these circles, okay? So maybe John saved Elia or the other way around. So they have one bond now, okay? If this bond reaches like 5 points, let's say, these characters are very, very bound together. They share something special. So if one of them dies, it is expected to have drama. One of them goes berserk, the one goes crazy, I don't know, something, okay? So it is expected of you to deliver that. And it makes perfect sense. Say goodbye to your hero with grace. Say goodbye, have some grace in defeat and in victory, okay? Don't die like a loser and don't win like a loser. You know what I mean. Now, let's go to the game masters, okay? You are not the hero. You are not part of the group. You are not one of the friends. You are the world, okay? You are the world. You are the wind. You are everything, okay? Not in a narcissistic kind of way, but you are there to fill the gaps. You're there to build the stage. You're not there to steal the spotlight. Okay? Your role is 30% initiative, 70% response. Leave them do their thing. Please don't be annoying. Facilitate, don't dictate. Okay? Your NPCs, they need motives, they don't need monologues. Insert them to your story. Again, you can follow the same rule. Let them have one thing, one quirk to make them stand out. Don't introduce an NPC who is like this and that, blah, 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 and tall and white hair and black hair and whatever. None of that matters. If they ask, you come up with an answer, okay? But unless you're some sort of NPC genius, keep it simple, okay? Your NPC has one thing. They are very noble. They are very honorable. They are very stealthy. They are very strict. They are very charitable. They are very arrogant. Okay? One thing. So if the character's trait is, I don't know, quick anger, like we said, Bullock in Deadwood, your NPC is Jaime Lannister in Game of Thrones. Arrogant, charming, whatever. Your responsibility is to prep some situations, okay, not scripts. You don't need to prepare huge stuff. Some triggers are enough, okay? And let the players, the characters, react to this. It is good to let players unleash creative chaos. Allow them to do their thing, okay, within the premises of the thing you've made. Allow them to do their thing. It gives a sense of, freedom, and that's very important. If your game is streamlined and your players know it, it's becoming boring, okay? Prepare your stage, your mini realm, and let them do their thing, okay? And anything done in that thing is okay. A bit of chaos, a bit of this, a bit of that, as long as it is contained in a frame, everything is allowed, okay? They don't need to know the frame, okay? As long as they feel free, you've achieved your purpose. You have to let them shape the world, okay? It doesn't matter if you play in your own world, in a ready-made world, whatever. If you're using some sort of custom setting, it is important to let your players shape it, make their actions canon. One of the best, most beautiful things we do in this hobby is this shared creation, okay? Most of my campaign, most of the lore of my world, which is a lot of lore now, it's been many, many years, of course, it's a part of a process of many campaigns, okay, I played with friends from the past. I took the stories, I made them into canon, NPCs. You know the story, everyone has done it. It is important to know, for the player to know that something that they do in-game has effect. Okay, I think it's a very fair thing to ask. So allow them this creative input. It's very important for them, and I think it's a beautiful thing. Otherwise, it's a sterile world. And if you allow this, the players will become invested. People become invested in things they take part in. This is a fact. It's not brand new information. I did not come up with this. It's known. Okay, allow them to be a part of this process. Default to yes to most things. You don't have to be an asshole when you play. I see this a lot in new groups of young players. There's a competition between game masters and players. Now, there's a delicate balance. Don't be the people pleaser, okay? It's not your job to be the people pleaser, but it's not your job to be an antagonist. I've seen people come into my store and they talk about D&D and they say stuff like, they have dice here. This is for a game called Dungeons & Dragons. Oh, what is it about? Oh, you create a character and then the game master makes your life miserable. And I hear stuff like that, but I don't know how they came up with this mentality. It's not healthy and it's not accurate at all. If you have some sort of complex, when you are given the least amount of authority and you become that person, you have to figure out what went wrong. You have to seek help and you have to figure it out, sort it out. It's not right. It's a responsibility to be a game master. You accommodate a game with your friends and you direct it And if you do a good job, everyone's going to have fun. If you don't do it well, no one's going to have fun. So it is your job to do that well. This is not the time for you to shine. It is not the time for you to showcase your amazing abilities. Okay, if you have abilities, good for you. Set them on the table, okay, in a manner that is acceptable and discreet and nice, okay? Be polite. And when I say default to yes, I mean don't say no for no reason. You are not there to take revenge on something that happened to you. You are not there to remind people that you have control. You don't. You are a referee. You are a referee. The whole point is a story, and that will be my final point again for this video. Okay, it has to hit hard for both players and game masters that the protagonist of the game is a story, not the player, not the game master. Okay, if everyone does their part, you can have a great story. You will remember it. It will be so good, you will not care about the system you played it in, okay? You will be very fond of the memories. You can use this story any way you want. As an example for future stories, you can use this story to make videos on YouTube, and you can use this story to inspire others, okay? That's it for now. It's a new thing for me to talk about these things. I know I didn't say much. I went on the basics, but from the next video, we're gonna go specific. We're gonna share examples. We're gonna have highlights from campaigns, and we're gonna have mechanics, bunch of stuff. If you like what you see, stay tuned, subscribe, okay? And I'll see you next time. Take care.